Okay. Oh, look at that smooth line. Look at that good mic sound. I have welcome everyone. I have a pop filter now on a nice microphone, and it's made me physically stronger. This is the one that Joe Rogan uses, probably. So
probably.
Yeah, probably. Even if you hate all the words that he says, he sounds pretty good on there.
He's my neighbor now.
Sorry?
He's my neighbor now.
Joe Rogan is your neighbor?
Yeah. He just moved to South Austin.
Wait, literally your neighbor? How neighbory?
No. I'm not rich enough to live in the same zip code as him.
That's fair.
Because I just thought that's astounding if he would have actually heard what Nirav said, just because he is quite literally next door to you.
Oh my god, that would be incredible. And then we could have gotten him on as a guest and sort of canceled ourselves. So
we need that publicity.
All right, well, welcome everybody to GameBusters. This is a podcast from GameLuster.com. I am your host, Nirav, and I'm joined as always by my lovely co-host, Ree.
Howdy.
And we are joined today by Kate from GameLuster.
Hey, y'all.
And Chelsea from Real World.
Hello, hello.
So yeah, welcome everyone. Let's jump right into it because we're on a little bit of a tight schedule today. But we're going to be talking about Stardew Valley today. So to get into the mood, let's all head to the Hall of Fameluster. I think we've all, I don't know if we've all come to the conclusion here. Chelsea, I don't know if you're up to date on the lore.
Ish.
Oh yeah.
Right now, we've actually purchased about 100 square miles of space on the moon from Elon Musk, who is the owner of the moon.
And a big fan of the
Wait,
show.
so does that mean we have a moon on the moon? Because I know the moon from Majora's Mask is in the Hall of Fameluster.
I think he is both the Hall of Fameluster and in the
We
Hall
have a
of
small
Fameluster.
replica of him in the hall as well, but we are on top of his head. That's correct. So
great.
we're I don't know if everyone else has come to the same conclusion, but whatever farm we elect to put in there is not going to do very well on the moon's surface. I'm proposing I'm proposing a biodome situation.
Yeah, with proper maintenance, I feel like we can make this work. It's not impossible.
No, absolutely not. Okay, so we are going to vote today. We're going to try and figure out what the best video game farm is, and I've left that sort of open for interpretation. I wonder if anyone got weird with it. So, Chelsea, why don't you kick us off? What is the best video game farm?
Video game farm. To be honest, I haven't played a whole lot of this genre, so I wowould say Stardew Valley is the best video game farm.
Okay.
I know that's what the episode is about, but
So you're the person who wears a Leonard Skinner shirt to a Leonard Skinner concert.
Well, why would you wear someone else's concert shirt to their concert? You know what I mean?
I actually don't know about other stuff, but in rock/metal music, it's actually bad form to wear the shirt of the band you're going to see. You should wear a shirt of a different rock band.
Interesting.
What?
See,
The only concert I've ever been to is Fall Out Boy, and everyone was wearing a Fall Out Boy shirt.
I don't know if I'd include that in what my grouping was, but yeah.
I was trying to be relevant, and I've only ever
you're
been
good.
to
No,
one
you're fine.
concert.
Like when I went to see Bullet for My Valentine, I was like, okay, better wear this Metallica shirt, you know? That.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, but okay, we'll put it in Stardew Valley now. Let's see how it fares. All right, Kate, what about you?
Well, I was actually considering nominating specifically my Stardew Valley farm, specifically Garrick Mock Farm, in which I have about 200 hours.
Is that
on
the
that
name
file
of the
alone.
Fire Emblem house?
Yes, I'm Farmer Edelgard on Garrick Mock Farm, but don't at me. But anyway, I will actually nominate, because Stardew has been said, I will nominate Lon Lon Ranch from various Legend of Zelda games.
Very good.
Wholesome.
Lon Lon Ranch
Good
is owned by a fat lazy man named Talon and his really adorable daughter Malin. They produce the best milk in the world, and in several incarnations it is home to Epona, the best horse in all of video gaming. So, I mean, I
True.
feel like just for being Epona's home, it is therefore the best farm.
And if you do want to see all the best horses in video games, I believe Kate has an article up on GameLuster where you can
I
go see
do.
just that, the top 10 horses.
Though I kind of spoiled it just now by saying
yeah,
who number
sorry about
one
that, guys.
was. It's Epona.
We'll put
You
in a
can now
spoiler
find
warning.
out. Yeah, find out what horses are almost as good as Epona. That's how you should sell it. There you go.
But yes, Lon Lon Ranch is the best video game farm because it is home to Epona, it is home to delicious milk, and in Ocarina of Time you can race an evil man who looks like Luigi and thoroughly humiliate him. Everything you need in a farm.
That is all the things I need. All right, Ree, what about you?
Okay, I went with... See, I'm not sure this is a farm, but I'm just going to say it is the Chow Garden in the Sonic Adventure games.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll
I mean,
put it in. Defend
you're-
yourself, please.
Okay, so it's an area where you raise some non-human creatures and there is grass there. I feel like that meets the criteria of a farm. Ignoring that one of the Chow Gardens actually doesn't have any grass, but...
So if I have two
farms?
cats and a lawn, am I running a farm?
Yes, you are. If you want to. It's all about what you want. I don't actually have an argument to support this. I just really like the Chow Garden.
I do love the Chow Garden.
Want to talk about it, and I want it in more games as well. Why did they ever drop that feature? I spent so many hours looking after the chows.
I will again say that maybe the greatest, and I'm not exaggerating, maybe the greatest crime against all of humanity is that there is not a Chow Garden mobile app. Like, how?
I know, it's insane.
Oh, that would
do
actually
so
be
well.
amazing.
How?
But, okay, so the reason I went with the Chow Garden is because I was never, like, too into, like, farm simulator games, but I think it was, like, sort of the same process with me in the Chow Garden. I would spend ages on it. I would look after the little chows. I'd get one of each, which would unfortunately mean having to abuse some of the chows so they get, like, the evil colours. I don't know why that was a feature. That was really weird. But, yeah, I feel like it meets the criteria of a farming simulator.
All right.
Because I say so.
Okay. Well, your word is law. Okay. So mine is a little bit of a deep cut. I don't know. Maybe one of you will remember it. From Spyro Ripto's Rage, there is a stage called Robotica Farms where all the farmers are like robots that talk like this, and they're all wearing like big hats.
That's a good one.
And then there's like, robot beetles, and they're like, all the robot bees have stopped making robot honey. Can you help us?
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that has some real like down home farm vibes to me. But yeah. Okay. So let's get to the voting. Chelsea, you get 2 votes. You can distribute them anywhere, including your own. Where would you like them to go?
I mean, I'm gonna have to give you both of mine just because for the voices you just did.
Well, howdy do.
Very on brand as far as your taste level goes, I think. So that's where I'm gonna put mine.
No, well, actually, wait. Didn't Axel's law prohibit this very thing of giving 2 votes?
I think.
Well, he
Axel's
gave 2.
law
Well, okay, he gave 2 votes
is-
to himself.
Yeah, and I feel like the problem is we're not very good lawmakers, so we leave so many loopholes that people keep exploiting them. So
Look,
we're gonna have to add. We're
The
gonna have
law
to add like
isn't
Chelsea's
an exact
law.
science. Chelsea's law states that you can vote for other people twice.
There we go. Nice, wholesome.
All right. And what was Jess's law again? That you can't bring 2 entrants to the Hall of Fame luster.
Yeah, because you don't know the other entrance.
You think all the rules you've made are very sound until everyone starts breaking them.
My favorite law is Cole's law. It's a thinly sliced cabbage with mayonnaise on it.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds nice.
Okay. All right. Kate, where are your votes going?
Obviously one for Stardew Valley and one for Lon Lon Ranch.
Okay. Ree, where are your votes going?
Okay, I'm throwing one to Long Long Ranch just because, Epona, best horse. And another for Robotica Farms because you reminded me that Spyro 2 exists and that made me very happy.
That is good. It is good to remember. I am Lon Ranch is just a classic, man. That's a good one. I can't believe I didn't think of that. All right. I give one there, and then I'm gonna give one to myself so that I still win.
Oh wow, Nirav wins again. Is anybody surprised?
This is only the third time I've won in, 24 episodes?
I just keep being on episode you win, I think.
The good
all
luck
right.
charm.
Welcome. Well, actually, one good thing here is that we may not need the biodome at all. Robotica Farms seems like it might be able to, persist out in the cold reach of space, actually.
Yeah, I mean, robot honey, I feel like can thrive without oxygen, so we should
Did
be
you guys
okay.
know that robot honey actually stays good forever?
Oh wow.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it never goes bad.
I wonder if you mixed Lon milk and robot honey, if that would taste good.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Because
yeah.
one of them needs oxygen, the other one doesn't. So that's interesting.
Don't know if anyone recalls on in Majora's Mask the milk bar where you just Link just goes to the milk bar and drinks 8 gallons of milk and just gets fucking wasted.
I remember that. I spent so much time in a milk bar.
It's just good vibes in there, man.
I played Link as just a milk addict, apparently.
Why aren't milk bars a real thing, I mean, I
They
suppose cafes
super
can be
are.
milk bars.
There was one in Hokkaido, where I lived, in Japan. There was absolutely a milk bar.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, Hokkaido is famous for dairy. There was a milk bar, and you could sample different milks from different farms. It had different levels of creaminess. You could do chocolate, strawberry, banana milk.
Okay, well I'm mad now because I live in peak farmerland and we don't have this.
Yeah, I'm from Georgia.
What do they
it's
call Georgia?
I've never seen
it's
a milk bar
pecans all the
anywhere
way
outside
down.
of Hokkaido.
I don't know America very well. Isn't Georgia all about them peaches?
Okay,
Yeah.
listen to me.
Nirav lives in butt country.
I am in butt country, first of all. But I'm originally from South Carolina, which is a state next door, and
It is the inferior Carolina to North Carolina, where I currently am.
that's incorrect. You guys are so haughty up there. You guys are the Eagleton to our Pawnee.
Oh, take that back!
Speaking a different language right now. What is this?
I guess you haven't seen Parks and Rec. Okay. South Carolina actually is the real peach state. We export 3 times as many peaches every year as Georgia does, but Georgia somehow claimed the title of peach state, even though their peaches are fake news.
They're just better at marketing. South Carolina.
They are better at marketing. We don't have a lot going on in South Carolina, okay? Just
better than us, we sell tobacco, which is a terrible crop.
That's true. You guys are tobacco / Venus flytrap country.
Oh
God! Don't
talk...
even get me started on the Venus flytrap black market.
If we're going to talk about who has the worst output to society, my county is responsible for Ed Sheeran, so I'm sorry about that.
Ah, that's interesting. Chelsea, what do you guys do? Oil?
Yeah, our most of our economy is based on oil and gas, so
Black gold, Texas tea.
Exactly.
Incredible. Well, I guess we've all farmed our own sort of contributions to society here. Great. Oh boy. All right, let's move on to Bustums. So this is our main segment. We're going to talk about Stardew Valley today. So
Yay!
Yes, yay.
I've been bugging Nirav to do a Stardew episode for months.
That's correct.
Yeah, Kate's a little bit of a fan.
A little bit
Just
of a
a
fan. Not I don't know. You know what? As scary as it is to say, I'm sure there's more hardcore fans out there.
Oh yeah,
God,
absolutely.
That's a scary thought.
It is. So I'm gonna walk a little bit through the history, and we'll just get some interjections and thoughts from y'all, and talk about it kind of the game itself at the end there. So yeah, this game, if anyone somehow hasn't heard of it, I think you have. I think there's literally no way you could have found this podcast and not know what Stardew Valley is. So this game was actually, I did not know this, was developed completely alone by Concerned Ape, who was a nickname for Eric Barone. He built this entire game on his own. So he graduated from the University of Washington Tacoma with a degree in comp sci, and he wanted to make games but could not find a job in the industry. What? A millennial being unable to find a job in the industry in which he has a degree? It's inconceivable.
Oh boy. Can't imagine that right now.
It's never happened to anyone, especially not me.
No, especially no one in this podcast can relate at all.
I have
Not at all.
Yeah. No.
Never.
Chelsea, at least you got a job in like our field.
Yeah, but remember that time between when I graduated and when I was found my current job and I was like a kayak guide? That
I liked that part.
that was
though.
some
That was
bullshit.
funny.
So I
Moved halfway around the world
can-
to find a job after I graduated.
I might have to do that. It's not a bad shout. Right now, I've just applied to be a teaching assistant, and I did a degree in journalism. So I'm a little bit far off there. Gotta love 2020.
I'm closer than I have been before because I have a master's degree in environmental science, but like I'm an urban planner. That sort of involves some of the same things a little.
My degree's in
there's urban
Japanese,
involved.
and I live in the American South.
Okay, well, you might
Okay,
have
yeah,
won.
you're a little bit far off there.
But we have so many pecans here.
pecans are overrated. I'll just say it. The worst
Whoa.
pie. The worst
Do
pie.
not ever come to Savannah.
Yeah, actually true. I have been to Savannah. Their pecan pie is good.
Yeah, we got good stuff here. All right. So, so he couldn't find a job in his field, and he ended up working as an usher in a Paramount theater in Seattle, just to make things, make ends meet. He also wanted to make something on his own for his portfolio, so that when something came along, like he would have something to show a potential employer. And he also was just like, I'm dying inside, like he was like kind of depressed, like I need to fulfill myself a little bit. And so that's when he began working on Stardew Valley. So I have always found this, I feel like the thing is that I've asked this question many times aloud. What if this was good? What if I made this good instead? Like whenever I see somebody who makes a bad video game, I'm like, why didn't they make a good one instead? And
I don't think Stardew Valley is a bad game.
No, I didn't either. That's not what I'm saying. The reason he created Stardew Valley is because he looked at Harvest Moon and he said, why didn't somebody do that good instead? And he just kept asking himself basically over and over again, like, all the stuff is there in Harvest Moon for it to be a good game. Why didn't they just make a good game? I could make a better game than them. And then he did. And it was just like literally like I wanted to make a good version of Harvest Moon. So I think that's a pretty good flex there. I'm excited about that energy that he brought to that,
Yeah, I feel like we could learn something from that. I feel like
Yeah.
GameLuster should recreate Cyberpunk,
What if we made Cyberpunk but it was good? And it
Yeah.
worked and it worked on the consoles that they sold it on. So
Revolutionary.
he also took pieces of inspiration from Animal Crossing, Rune Factory, Minecraft, and Terraria, which are all sort of, in the similar genre of like kind of these sim games. So he actually was maybe the only person to use Steam Greenlight. Do you guys remember Steam Greenlight?
Nope.
Oh yeah.
It's a name
that
I
was
haven't
a
heard
thing.
in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was basically a program where you like put out little demos and news flashes for people, and you would gauge interest in like if your game was going to be good or not. And it didn't end up working very well, and they discontinued it like 7 years ago. But in like 2012, he did the Steam Greenlight thing with like a demo for Stardew Valley, and he received like a ton of support. People went crazy, and so he began working with like directly with the Reddit and Twitter communities to build the best version of the game with everyone's help. So like he would like post updates all the time and be like, what do you guys think of this? And then like people would tell him like, oh, do this or this instead. And he'd be like, okay. Just like the whole way through development.
Oh, wow.
Stardew Valley concept art, especially character concept art, is very interesting to see because my personal favorite character almost had short hair, and that would have just been a crime.
Which one is that?
Elliot.
Yeah,
Which
that
one
would
is
lives on
that?
the,
That
he
wouldn't
lives
be
on
the-
a shack
wouldn't be
on
the
the
same.
beach.
Sorry?
He's the poet, like the author who lives in a shack on the beach, and he has this beautiful long hair, and that's why I marry him in every playthrough. But he almost had short hair, and it would have been a crime.
Now, Chelsea, you said that would have been good.
No, I said no. That's good that they didn't do that.
Oh, it's good that they didn't
Yeah.
do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you trying to
My-
start
My
beef here,
preference,
Nirav?
GameLuster is well aware of my preference for long-haired men.
Well, this is news to me, Kate. You know, you hide it so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen you talk about Geralt or anything, so I wasn't able to really come to that. Yeah.
Like, I've considered doing a top 10 long-haired men list, but it would just be Geralt 10 times, so.
I mean, it's not wrong.
Yeah, someone agrees with me.
Right?
Finally.
Yeah.
My husband.
Both of your husbands have very short hair.
Ryan has long hair now. You haven't seen him in
What?
a while. Yeah, Ryan has long hair. It's
Lucky.
like
Is
the
this
same
like
length
when
as
he-
mine.
Trying to grow his out. Well, mine keeps trying to grow his out, and then he goes and visits his mother, who then is like, "Cut your hair, you won't be allowed back in my house no more."
Ooh, I do have the best version of that energy, which is when me and my brother were like in high school and like we like started growing like facial hair and stuff. My mom would get, if we like didn't shave, like my mom would get mad and be like, "Go shave, you look like a terrorist."
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Which is pretty good.
So, yeah.
She wasn't wrong, I guess. Oof. Anyway, so yeah, after he's been developing the game for a few years, Chucklefish approached him and they offered to publish the game, and then they took over all the non-development activities for Stardew Valley. A lot of people wanted him to do early access for this, and he decided this wasn't the right game for it. But once he went into development, he spent 4 full years on it, and he ended up building all those systems from the ground up over and over again. He said he actually built and tore the game completely down again, maybe like 8 or 9 times. Like, he was never ever satisfied with the product he made, and just made a new game over and over.
Wow.
But he spent at least 10 hours a day working on it with no breaks. He never took a day off.
Jesus.
He did all programming, all music, and all art, and everything.
That's dedication. Whatever you think about the game, you gotta say that's dedication.
Did you guys see the movie Soul yet?
Not yet.
Nope.
I think okay. There's a whole thing in there. I think he might be one of those people that gets kind of lost in what the thing they're doing is, and gets sent to the sands of lost time.
I mean,
I haven't seen it
maybe
because
not.
I've been busy playing Stardew Valley.
Interesting.
I was about to make a less favorable comparison and just say this is like the good twin of like Yandere Simulator or something. Like, I feel like all the well, you know, because Yandere Simulator has been like in production hell for about 1 million years. He claims to work on it like 1 million hours a day because he doesn't hire anyone. But like, this is the version where it went well. It's like 2 different dimensions of like the same project of like joined our universe.
Yeah,
and
you're
we got
right.
the good
Stardew
ones.
Valley is Yandere Simulator.
I mean,
is.
if you consider, like, just a few weeks ago, he dropped a major content update in the form of version 1.5, and he was telling the fan base, like, oh, it's not going to be until, like, I've got so much work to do, it's probably going to be, like, early to mid 2021, and then I think it was December 22nd or 23rd, he goes, like, haha, Merry Christmas, here y'all go.
Nice. Yeah, we'll get to the 1.5 update at the end there. So he said he wanted to make like a real world message, and he also wanted the game to be playable forever.
Which it is.
Which I think I from what I've heard, he was successful on that front.
I have 300 hours in it, and that's low.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Chelsea, where are you sitting right now?
I'm around 100.
Okay.
But
That's not
I
bad.
don't think my count is accurate because I feel like I've played a lot longer than that.
Same.
I feel like there's like something happening with specifically this and Animal Crossing. I feel like they don't measure time, but I'm probably just making that up in my head. So anyways.
All right, let's see here. So he also was like very adamant about the fact that he did not want anyone to like min-max this game. He did not want people making spreadsheets and trying to find the best and most optimized ways to do stuff. He wanted everyone to learn it organically and just kind of chill. And if, you know, things went wrong, you know, but that didn't happen. I don't think. People are
There
very
are good
into
crops
the spreadsheets.
and bad crops.
Yeah.
And then there are tomatoes.
And then there are the ugly crops.
No, there are tomatoes. Tomatoes are worthless. No, I'm kidding. Tomatoes are fine. They're just one of the least optimal crops.
Okay. So he also originally, in some versions of this game he was making, there was stuff where you had to raise animals and you could butcher them for meat on the farm, but instead, like, people didn't like that, and so he just kind of changed it so you can adopt them.
Yeah. I'm just
I would
imagining
never
that this...
do that to my 10 cows all named Hubert.
It's just the cutest game. Why was that even? I'm just trying to imagine that in the cute little.
And that's what you do on a real farm. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, actually no.
Now they produce milk and you make it into cheese, and they're much more profitable if you keep them alive.
See, I think my boyfriend's living like the real Stardew Valley life because his family have a farm and they have like I want to say 10 sheep, and they got them so that they could like sell them for meat. But then they got too attached to them, and now they just have names and live with the dogs, and it's really sweet. So they just have the best life of any sheep ever. He's just made Stardew Valley like IRL. Good for him.
Huh. That's really good. Chelsea, you have your own sort of farm going on though in your home.
I do. Yeah, in my home, a farm of cats and dogs and birds. But
Ooh.
Oh.
It's like it's a menagerie.
Yeah, we have
Please don't tell me
pets.
you don't sell them for meat, do you? Just
No,
we
that. Don't.
Don't hurt Chewy. I will kill you.
I feel like they would taste very gamey.
Yeah.
I have 2 cats, but sometimes it feels like I have 10 because one of them is still a kitten and very loud.
Oh boy.
I'm looking. Okay, there's Ellie's Oh no, Ellie's made eye contact. Oh no. Okay, so
all of us are a bunch of nerds. Does everyone here have a pet? Are they all named nerdy things?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea, could you just go and rattle off some of the names of your friends there?
So the cats are Han and Leia, and the dogs are Chewie and Frodo, and then the bird is Elmo.
Oh, that's too sweet. Oh god, this reminded me when I was a kid.
My cat's name is Arden Azunia.
When I was a kid, I was allowed to name our cat that we adopted, and I feel like my mum really regretted that because the name I came up with, bear in mind the last name had to be Bevan because she was part of the family, but then I proceeded to call her Coco Bandicoot Spongebob Bevan.
Oh, and that is a lot of syllables.
That is a lot.
Did you say that whole thing every time?
Not every time, but the funny thing is the vets did. The vets would read out the entire thing in the waiting room. So that was wild. And then when my mum met my stepdad, we made it double syllable, so it was Coco Bandicoot SpongeBob Bevan Osborne. Just to be completely extra about it. I was not allowed to name any further pets.
Did you guys play that Crash Bandicoot spin-off, Coco Bandicoot Spongebob? I was really surprised by how good it was. It was really good, actually.
I mean, it's still awkward when we take our little girl to the vet and they're like, Spot, Whiskers, Fido, Arden Azunia.
See, that's why I wanted to go a little more low-key. Like, Ellie is named, of course, after Ellie from The Last of Us, a decision I came to regret soon after. But I think her character sort of developed in much the same way as her namesake, interestingly.
Well, I named my cat after a showboating, attention-grabbing villain, and yeah, while she may not be a villain, she loves attention.
Oh. All right. So, what was I talking about? Yeah. So he's getting close to release, and he actually refused to accept pre-orders because he said pre-orders are dishonest. And I was like, all right, sure. And I was like, that's kind of weird. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone doing that before, like being like, no pre-orders, they're dishonest.
Well, that's interesting because you have a lot of like consumers say that, but I've never heard anyone in the gaming industry.
Yeah, exactly. I've never heard
no.
like the salesperson say that.
Yeah.
I mean, what did he mean by dishonest? Like, did he think that people would pre-order the game and not end up liking what they got, or?
No, yeah, he thought that the concept of selling somebody a product before they actually could get it was a dishonest practice.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with that, but you know what?
I don't think I do either, but
I pre-order a lot of stuff sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes you'd like to pre-order stuff. Okay.
I'm very forgetful, so it's good to just pre-order and then it appears one day. It's very nice.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
It's like a present from past you.
Exactly.
So he's continually added a bunch of new content, and one of the main things was adding 4-player co-op. Interesting note, he actually intended to have 4-player co-op from launch, but he just wasn't able to do it because of being the one-man team thing. Which is understandable, but he said he always intended for this to be a co-op experience. He never really planned on it being a solo thing that you would do.
Yeah, the farm I mentioned, Garreg Mach, that I have so many hours in, is actually built on the Four Corners map, which is the largest of the farm maps that was specifically launched alongside the multiplayer and was really, really not intended for one farmer to run by themselves. And I do not recommend it, because it is huge, and doing my daily chores takes like hours unless I split them up and delegate them to the Junimos.
The Junimos?
The forest spirits who I get to harvest my crops for me.
Jesus Christ! All right, well,
All right.
Please tell me about that later. What?
I'm gonna have to ask my partner if that's like that happens in farming. I haven't heard of spirits before.
Do you think real farms have like helper spirits too?
I'm asking. I'm on it right now.
All right, let me know. So yeah, in 2019, finally Eric Barone conceded and said, "I have been defeated by the March of Time." I am going to hire a team of people. And so he did. He's hired a small group of people. I think it's 3 or 4 people only. But here's a quote from him. This is going to be a big change for me. I've always worked alone, and working with a team is a whole new ballgame. However, just as I did with Stardew Valley originally, I'm going to just go for it. And I have faith that I can rise to the occasion and make it work. My hope is that a new team will help take care of some of the work, or take some of the workload off me, so I have enough breathing room to divide my time between my new game and Stardew Valley. I still plan on having a very active role in the future of Stardew Valley, and as the originator of all major Stardew decisions and content. And there are many aspects of development which I'll never be okay with handing to another, like music or writing. But when it comes to programming, fixing bugs, administrative or business work, or even pixel art, I think I'd be okay with having some help. So yeah, like I gotta say, like, this dude is on a whole other wavelength for me. I can't vibe with anything he's saying here. Please let everyone else do everything for me.
Well, yeah, I've got to say that it's insanely admirable. Like, bloody hell. But how?
I think there comes a point where you work yourself too hard. Like, I mean, you know, I don't know him personally, but like, just being self-employed and working 10 plus hours every day without any breaks is not a good thing to do. I'm gonna just go ahead and put on the record.
No, I fully agree with that.
I could not pull off what he has.
Like, if you're listening, my guy, like, okay, you're listening to this, you're already relaxing, but just take a week
Just
off,
relaxing,
you know?
namaste. Yeah, take a relaxing.
Available on the Apple Store now.
I mean, has this poor guy ever taken a vacation? Like, that's what I always think about.
To my knowledge, no. I believe he's worked for the last 7 years without stopping.
Like, you can't even go on a weekend camping trip? That just sounds miserable. Like, I love the game. I'm so glad he made it, but Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, like I said, one thing is that he is, he's handed off Stardew Valley essentially to a team of people, doing sort of the programming stuff, and so for the new content update, that was directed by him and like his ideas and stuff, but like physically made, you know, by a group this time. So.
And they still outdid themselves. I mean, they had a poll on Twitter for, like, what new fruit you wanted to see added to the game, and it was, like, bananas or mangoes or pineapples, and bananas won, but surprise, surprise, a new update added mangoes and pineapples as well.
Wow.
Oh,
wow. That's really cool. Look,
and taro, and ginger. He outdoes himself, always.
Wow.
Oh my god, dude, rest! Please, they would have been happy with just bananas.
Give them the bananas. So I do want to get into this because there was a whole thing going on here. So just to qualify, the mobile versions. So Chucklefish, the publishing company, published this game on all the platforms, and then they ported it to mobile, and it was published by a different group called The Secret Police. This is important because in 2019 he actually bought the publishing rights back from Chucklefish for every platform besides mobile. And the Switch version went to a group called Sickhead Games. So essentially, he kind of removed himself from contact with Chucklefish because Chucklefish came into the limelight last year because of a big controversy where people were basically finding out that one of Chucklefish's new games, Starbound, they didn't pay the people who made it.
Oh
Nice.
boy, I mean, you hear a lot of shite from this industry, but not. Yeah, I mean, obviously we hear about crunch and everything, but like just straight up didn't pay. Or
Yeah,
like,
there was so there was a group of people that were saying that like they had been asked to work like they were crunched even and had to work like 100-hour weeks like for months, and then were just literally not paid a cent at the end.
Jesus.
okay, I mean, yeah, that's something else.
Yeah.
How does like a company think, yes, we will get away with this?
Well, to my knowledge, they did get away with it because
Really?
because like how you take these people to court? You don't have any money.
Yeah, and I guess like gaming unions are only just
Gaming
becoming
unions don't
a
even
thing.
exist. Like there's no one to support people on this kind of stuff.
There's like groups being set up right now. I follow a few of them, but they're just not influential enough to really
Yeah,
take any
it's
of these
ridiculous.
like big companies to court.
So of course then Eric Barone, like I said, he bought Stardew Valley back from Chucklefish and then worked very hard to distance himself from them. He clarified in a blog post, throughout the 4.5 years of development, he was the only person to work on Stardew Valley. Neither Chucklefish nor any contributors working with Chucklefish were involved in creating the game in any capacity. So yeah,
he's not happy of them.
not
yeah.
happy, no. He did, yeah, and then he clarified that they helped with the creation of the multiplayer, but it was the only development-focused aspect they took on. And then, like I said, by the end of 2018, though, he was self-publishing everywhere, so he is not involved with Chucklefish any longer.
Well, I feel it's like good for him for just telling them to piss off, basically, because so much of that happens in the industry that you could just largely put up with it.
One thing I like,
but...
yeah, it reminds me on a very small scale of like Bungie. If you remember, they bought themselves back from Activision because they were like really displeased with how Activision was running the show.
In almost every capacity.
Yeah, just with everything they did. So yeah, we're getting close to the end here. So just for record, by December 2017, they had sold 3.5 million copies, but by January 2020, they had sold 10 million copies. Lots of momentum there after launch. Like you very rarely see a game do that well after, like in the years after it launched like that. Was nominated for Best Indie Game, but it didn't actually win many awards. Critical reception was good, mostly 8s and 9s all around when it launched. Interesting note also, Forbes 2017 had Eric Barone as one of their 30 under 30 to watch. Which
the least he bloody deserves.
I guess so.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's get into the game a little bit. So first, I do want to ask, like, for Chelsea and Kate, you know, tell me, what is this game about to you? Like, if you had to pitch this to me.
See, that's kind of hard to nail down for me.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel like it's not about anything other than just, like, pure joy. Just, like, sitting down and having, like, a really cute time.
Okay. No, that's good. Yeah, that's so like from what I remember, I've played about 7 hours of this game, and I think the regular stuff is like I'm running a farm, I'm going and meeting people in town, I'm just like upgrading my equipment and stuff and finding new things that I can farm, clearing out my land, and just kind of like progressing relationship quests almost with the people in town and kind of building relationships with them. Is that like about right?
Yeah.
That's true, though there is also a bit of an overarching quest. Not that the game doesn't continue after it, but you are tasked with collecting various items from around the valley in order to give to the aforementioned Junimos, the spirits of farm and forest, to restore the Stardew Valley Community Center, which has fallen into disrepair. And so that is sort of a plot. You turn this you working with the Junimos kind of turn this abandoned building into a place for the townspeople to interact, and you also end up restoring a bunch of other functions, like you get an old bus running again, you get a movie theater, a quarry. So it has got a town improvement element to it as well, although interestingly you can also choose to side with the mega corporation JojaCore and buy out the town instead. So there are actually two valid paths of play, though I've personally never done a Joja playthrough.
Would you say that there's maybe a street kid and a corpo path?
I don't know, because I haven't started Cyberpunk yet, actually.
I just looked up a picture of a Junimo. This is an apple with arms and legs.
Yeah, they're adorable, and I love them.
They're very cute.
I do like the dance they're doing.
They're
So
so adorable.
yeah, so so I like I said, I've played a little bit of this game. I played like an hour maybe on my own, and I was not vibing with it. And then my friend Grace is actually calling me right now. I was literally about to say her name. Whoa, this is spooky. I'm spooked, y'all.
Ooh.
Hmm. Oh, that
Um,
was loud in the headphones. That was.
yeah, that was a good microphone. Um, Yeah, so yeah, my friend Grace is very into Stardew Valley also, and so she asked if I wanted to do a little like a co-op farm, and I was like, sure, I'll give it another shot, and I did have fun doing that for about 6 hours or so, and then I was like, okay, like I planted one tree, am I good? You know, like um I don't think I understand this game. I think I possibly could have approached it with the wrong expectations. I was wanting it to be a relaxing time, but instead I spent a lot of time being very stressed out about the farm. Like not understanding like what I needed to be doing and like why my plants were dying and such. Um,
Yeah.
what would you do to like set someone's expectations correctly for this?
I would say, I mean, it's not for everyone, because not a single game in this world is for everyone, but I would
Sure.
say that it's a farming simulation with time and resource management elements. I mean, you do have a
Mm-hmm.
timed day cycle. You fall asleep where you're standing at 2 a.m. Most crops and animals and stuff operate on a cycle where they produce every X amount of days. The game has a season system. So I would say relaxing farming simulator doesn't cover it because you have this element of management.
Sure, and I see people all the time online who are like, "Yeah, Factorio is relaxing for me," and I think people like that probably are not the kind of people I am. um,
Well, I'm gonna say I don't personally find Stardew Valley relaxing. More so, would say I find it fulfilling. So
sure, okay,
I'm gonna get a bit personal for a moment, if you don't
yeah,
mind.
please.
In
Go for it.
2017, I was diagnosed with general anxiety disorder, and I contacted a friend who had gotten a similar diagnosis a few years ago, and she immediately gifted me a copy of Stardew Valley on Steam. And I said, "Oh, I mean, I love you to death, babe. Like, I love you, friend, but how is this gonna help?" And she said, this is a game that when you feel like nothing in your life is under your control, this is a game where you can control things and create things and produce positive creative output and follow a routine. This is a game that can fulfill you when life feels like a crazy sea of chaos. And she's right. I mean, there's a reason my Stardew hours have gone up or went up so much in 2020. When everything around me is chaotic, Stardew is a place I can control. I can plant a parsnip and it will grow in 4 days. I can feed my cow and my cow produces milk. And that doesn't change. It's stable. It's just Stardew is a game where I can get some of the fulfilling stability that living with anxiety I don't get out of real life. And that's why I
Oh,
I mean,
like it.
that's absolutely lovely to hear.
yeah, thank you.
And I was
That
gonna
is great.
ask actually, because like having my own mental health problems in 2020, like towards the beginning, conveniently right when Animal Crossing New Horizons came out, that was sort of my escape for a while. But I found that that didn't really have a lot of staying power for me for some reason. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe it's because as soon as my sleep schedule went out of whack, then like if I play at night, the shops are closed and all that, and I didn't like time traveling. Um, so yeah, I've just more or less abandoned Animal Crossing now. Uh, have either of you found that Stardew Valley has more staying power than other like similar games in the genre?
I mean, I 100% think it does because I was the same way. I was very into Animal Crossing when it first came out, and then I kind of burned out pretty quickly. Versus with Stardew Valley, I've been able to play that for a lot longer, and it's still interesting. Like I still like want to play it versus like every now and again I'll turn on Animal Crossing because I feel guilty that I like have abandoned my little island.
Your
but
boy, yeah.
but you don't get that with Stardew Valley because I think the way that they handle time makes it have a lot more longevity because you can just jump back into it whenever. And then I like that time progresses and you only have a certain amount of time to do stuff in a day. Like I feel like I'm not just like running around doing nothing. It seems more purposeful.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense to me. I get what you're saying. I know it's gonna sound like absolutely insane, but that is legitimately the same reason that I have like 700 hours on Fallout 4, just managing settlements, because like I've spent like maybe like 50 or 60 of those hours for like doing the story and like doing quests and stuff, you know, and then like the rest of it has really just been building these little cities and like making sure everyone's like fed and has water, and then like, you know, finding materials, building new structures for people, building houses for people, and just like making sure everyone's living their best life, you know. And like managing the trade routes, like, okay, if I send this much food this way to this city, then like this city needs to have food coming from this farm over here because they're producing more than they need, but they need more water, you know, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I feel like that sounds
does
like maybe
sound similar.
It's hitting the same itch.
Yeah, because in Stardew, for me, you get to see the concrete results of what you do. I mean, Pelican Town becomes better from you moving in. You see changes. Like my current longest playthrough, where I'm into like year 6 or 7 of the game, a character who lived in a trailer when I moved in now has this beautiful house that I built her, and like, she's happier when you talk to her, her dialogue is happier, her life is going better, and like, you can see what you did in these people's lives to make them better.
Okay.
And is it a bit of a power fantasy? Abso-frickin-lutely.
Sure.
Love to see it.
I think that's probably why you guys said it has more longevity than Animal Crossing, because one thing that burnt me out was just realizing how like little impact you already have on the villagers. You can make everything look nicer. You can become friends with some of them and get their portrait, but the dialogue was just so repetitive no matter what. It just didn't feel like I was having like much of an influence on their lives, so I can see how something like Stardew Valley.
I don't know what you're talking about. Gagoh!
Is the title of this episode just Nirav does accents?
It should be.
What accent do you want me to do next?
I don't know.
I want to hear more Southern Robot.
Yeah, actually.
All right. Now, Chelsea, why don't you tell me more about what are the real world pervasive themes that Baron was speaking about that you think made it into the game that have really struck a chord with you?
Well, I think the biggest one is just community. I mean, which is like very obvious in that community center that we were talking about earlier, where you collect everything and bring it to life. Because once you do that, like, it is just a big spot for everyone to gather, and it's like, no longer dusty. It's all beautiful, but just like you get to know people, and the more that you talk to them, the more that they like you, and you can get married, and you really enmesh yourself in this place that, like, at the beginning of the game you were a total stranger to. And I think that is like, ever moved anywhere new where you had to kind of like find your sense of place, and or just settling into somewhere you've been for a while but haven't really truly grown attached to. That's the biggest takeaway for me, was just community.
Okay. Yeah. Rhea, I'll direct this one to you. Do you what do you think this one's so popular with 100 other games on Steam just like it? What makes it stand out from the crowd?
Was that your attempt at a Cockney accent?
No, that was us. That was a little Australian.
Was it?
That your Steve Irwin?
It actually?
It was a little bit. I was moving towards it. It was my Steve Irwin. Thank you.
Okay.
I got what you were going for.
Thank you.
I can't actually. I was too busy on the accent that I couldn't actually process what you were saying.
No problem. I'll try it again. So why do you think this game is so popular when there are literally like 100 other games on Steam that are almost exactly like it? Like, what is it that made this stand out from the crowd and kind of become the definitive like simulator where I'm just like making a farm or a community?
See, speaking to friends who are absolutely addicted to it, I think it's largely because of the characters in it. It's not just the fact that you're building up this farm. It's your interaction with the NPCs and the ones you get married to and stuff. I feel like it understands that, as cheesy as it sounds, like in lifestyle simulators, you need people in it. You need to like have that sense of like interaction, especially during COVID and stuff, because people were like trying to get attached to their villages in Animal Crossing because of COVID. But I think everyone sort of realized at the same time that it was.
Why won't Raymond love me back?
Exactly. Raymond just has the same dialogue that everyone else, and I can't even remember what personality type he has, but
I found a shoe on the beach. Gagoh!
Exactly. It's like, that gets a bit boring after a while, and you just realize that you are indeed playing a video game.
Sure.
But with Stardew Valley, I guess, even funny enough, even though it is pixel art, I guess it does the illusion a bit better.
The key of Animal Crossing for me is to never speak to your villagers, which I did. I
Absolutely
never spoke to them.
Never.
Never
just observe from a distance. Observe from a distance. Pretend you're in a zoo.
It is very much like Cyberpunk in that way. Because, I mean, the second,
it is.
The second in Cyberpunk you try to talk to anybody, you remember it's a video game because they just say, like, well, time to roll on those mofos, Choomba. Go!
I'm tired. Oh, God. I just discovered the Badlands yesterday in Cyberpunk because like no missions had taken me there, so I was just exploring.
Oh, what, you didn't do Pan Am stuff there?
I haven't like got to her yet. I feel like I'm really far.
What have you
in the
been
story.
doing?
I don't know. I haven't. I saw her once, but it wasn't in the Badlands. Anyway, I found this new area and I thought this looks really bloody interesting. I bet there's some cool shit to find here. Of course, there wasn't anything to find there. This is Cyberpunk 2077. There's never anything fun to find. So, yeah, I feel like
there is a
Valley,
lot of
the point is,
look in Cyberpunk.
There's stuff to find.
There is a lot of cool stuff. There is no stuff for you to find, though. There is a lot of cool stuff that they will give you.
Yeah,
if that
just
makes
go
any
along
sense.
for the ride.
Just go along.
Stardew Valley. With Stardew Valley, I feel like it's very personal. You have your own individual playthrough, which might not necessarily be the same to someone else's.
Yeah.
It's also this weird, wild, wonderful world. Like, you say it's a farm, like, oh, you build a farm, but, like, by the end of the game, end of the community center plotline, you can be raising dinosaurs on your farm, you can be growing giant mushrooms, you can be slaying lava bats in the depths of the mines. Like, this is a weird, fantastic world where magic is 100% real.
Wow. Okay, so
look, I can talk about
you've...
things I'm passionate about, and I am unashamedly passionate about Stardew Valley.
No, that's great. All right, so Chelsea, could you tell me maybe like a personal interaction you had with a character that stuck with you, maybe?
So I'm trying to think of what his name is. I'm really bad at remembering names. So one of my favorites is Linus. So Linus is this like super sweet like old man, and there's not like a specific instance of us interacting, but just like his whole character to me is just he lives in a tent at like the north part of the city and like is kind of aloof and doesn't really get along with everyone, but he like just so wants to be loved and be a part of the community, and it's just so wonderful interacting with him. Like he is just so adorable. He's one of the standouts for me for sure.
Okay. Kate, how about you? You have a favorite?
I mean, I adore Elliot. I relate to him because he's this struggling novelist, and if you pursue his friendship path, he ends up completing his novel, and you get a scene where he does a reading of it in the Stardew Valley library, and like the entire community is there, and he ends up dedicating the novel to your player character, and I started sobbing and had to pause the game. It was just like I could see how much I had changed this guy's life. And then I married him, and now he lives in my house with me, and we have 2 beautiful children.
Wow. Okay.
Aww.
So so tell me about the new 1.5 update stuff. I've heard people blowing up about it, but I other than I guess the mangoes and bananas, I don't know a lot about what's in it.
So there's a whole new island you can visit that is not quite as large as the full Stardew Valley area itself, but is a fully realized map with multiple areas. So it's like, oh god, and you guys are gonna laugh at me, but this is Stardew Valley's Run 1. Yeah, this is Stardew Valley's Blood and Wine. Like, it is a whole new area you can go to explore with new characters to meet and new things to do.
Is this in France also?
No, it's on a beautiful tropical island called Ginger Island that is inhabited entirely by parrots and weird small children who think they are parrots.
Huh, that does sound good. I like that the children think they're parrots.
Well, there is this boy who's raised by parrots, and he's like convinced that he is a parrot, and like his friendship path is about like telling him that no, buddy, you're not a parrot.
That sounds
I know
bad.
even less about this game having done a podcast about it. This is like the Death Stranding episode again.
It
where
is.
I thought, okay, I know a fair amount.
I have a
about
cursory
this game.
understanding of no, I
But
didn't know
no,
that.
and also like I would say it brings some changes to gameplay as well, because the island is actually filled with puzzles and riddles that you have to solve. You can look up guides online. Some of them were written by me. But the point, like, it's not, like, you can absolutely build a whole second farm on the island, and I very much have and did, with, like, new tropical crops. But there's also puzzles, there's, like, riddles where you have to solve them and go to certain parts of the island on certain days, so it feels a little different from the main base game. So it just you can add many more hours to your playtime, and still, I mean, I've been playing since it came out, and I still haven't done all the new content. Like, it's just a lot.
Yeah, totally. Chelsea, have you dipped back in since that update?
I have not. I've been in the middle of I've been playing The Witcher 3 for the first time, so I've been a little distracted.
Oh my god, how have I never met
Kate
you
approved.
before today? You're amazing.
And I'm also reading The Witcher books at the same time, so like
Oh
I
my
have a
god,
lot
we have
going
to be
on.
friends. I love you. You're awesome.
Thank you. I become a little obsessive when I really like something. So
Same.
Same. We've literally just found Kate's long lost twin here.
We're both into long-haired men. I mean,
Spooky.
Yeah, I mean that's all you need. Oh, that's sweet.
This is
It's always
amazing.
they were not two ships passing in the night.
Nice family reunion here.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about the future for this. So obviously Stardew Valley will continue on. They said there will be other major updates coming in the future. Concerned Ape Eric Barone is working on 2 games currently on his own again. So what he has decided to do is sort of hand Stardew Valley off to the team of people he hired while he works on the 2 new games. Both of them will be set in the universe of Stardew Valley. He said that one of them is sort of related to Stardew Valley, and the other one is completely like left field from like you would never expect like the genre of game it's going to be. But it is also they are also both like top-down pixel art games. He said he hopes to have them out by 2030. So, yeah.
Best of luck.
He's, again, one man working on, I guess, 2 games at the same time, so I guess 2030
I'm genuinely wishing him luck.
Yeah.
I'm so mad because I thought 2030 and I thought, oh, that's bloody ages away. Why is he planning that far ahead? I realise it's just only 9 years away.
Yep.
Only 9 years away,
Fuck.
still a long time.
Okay,
no, but I meant like in my head, 2030 registers as like 20 years in the future.
Oh, sure.
Like, oh.
I gotcha.
Oh, okay. It's not 2010 anymore.
Now when people talk about,
boy.
like, us having to, like, cut our carbon emissions by 2030, that's in 9 years, okay, everyone? Like, please? No? Okay.
Oh, God.
I remember they used to say
they're not
2020
gonna do
all
it.
the time, and I thought 2020 sounded like a made-up year. So no, I understand.
Soon it's going to be 2077 in real life.
Oh, Lord.
And we're not
Oh, no.
going to be... And then I'm not going to be able to talk to anybody in the real world.
Because they're all just gonna have like one
Because they're all just
line
going
of
to be
repeated
like,
dialogue.
let's go for a ride, Chumba.
Go.
Just T-posing in the street.
Despite what I've said here today, I actually really like both Animal Crossing and Cyberpunk. I think they're both great games. I just like dunking on things.
If you were an Animal Crossing villager, what would your verbal tick be?
I think mine would have to be, listen. Listen to me. Listen.
That checks out.
Wait, that's your verbal tick?
Listen.
Just saying listen?
I
All
don't
right,
know.
Navi.
I mean, if you've ever talked to me for any extended amount of time, I feel like I maybe intro most of my sentences with "listen to me" when nobody else is talking.
Obviously, Reese would be a good shout.
Yeah, that's good.
Do I say that a lot?
Yes.
Yeah, you do. A lot. Which is why I've started saying it too. Like, even like devoid of conversations with you, like I'll be like, "Oh, that's a good shout," and people are like, "What are you talking about? You fucking alien."
What's even worse is that with my friends, like when we're out at the pub and they're like, "Oh, should we go to this pub?" Instead of just saying that's a good shout, we've evolved to saying, "Oh, that's a shout and a half," you know, or like
That's even better.
Just like couldn't
So
get more British, could it?
I know. I'm gonna have to start saying that now. I'm gonna infect GameLuster with shout and a half.
I would ask what I say a lot, but I don't think I want to know the answer.
I don't know. Do you have a catchrised?
It would clearly be singing the entirety of Toss a Coin to Your Witcher.
That might be it. Okay, so let's. Sorry.
I have started saying y'all more because Kate.
You're not even saying it
y'all
right
a lot.
though. Is the problem? You're saying
Yes,
y'all.
it would be y'all.
Y'all.
It would be
How do you
Y'all.
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 how do you say it?
Okay, say it again.
Y'all.
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 Pretend there's a W
oh,
in there.
God. It sounds so bad, like in a British accent.
Look, I can't help being British, all right?
Just like switch to an American accent quickly for that one word
John
and then go back.
Barrowman developed a perfect American accent. Why can't you?
Wasn't he also raised in America for a while though?
Okay. I can't do an American accent. I can't. All Americans think I'm Australian, so I guess I can do that. I'll have to pretend to be Australian.
Oi! That was my Australian.
Oi, mate. G'day, mate. That's an easy one to do.
Put a shrimp on that barbie, won't ya?
Once I took my Australian friend to an Outback Steakhouse, they did not have a good time.
Oh man.
This dingo ate my baby. All right. All right. Let's get out of here. So one last thing: are there enough ghosts? It sounds like there's a lot of spirits in this game. Are there enough?
There's only one ghost, actually.
Oh, who's
So-
the ghost?
The ghost of your grandfather will sometimes show up to check on your farm and make sure you're doing well.
Well, that's wholesome, I think.
I get it's almost too wholesome. Do we
But
need
there's
more
only
ghosts?
one. So yes, you need more ghosts. There's only one ghost. That's not enough ghosts.
What would you do with your other ghosts?
Make them harvest my crops for me.
That
Make them
sounds
do
like
my farm chores.
okay. Chelsea, if you could introduce a ghost into this world, what would you have?
I'd
what
want-
would you be doing?
I'd want like a little ghost sidekick or series of ghost sidekicks that I could take with me into the mines to protect me because I'm horrible at going into the mines. I always die. So that would be helpful, I think.
Okay. All right.
I guess there's ghost enemies in the mines too. So I guess there are more ghosts.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't know. They're not really like characters. They're just like little things to kill.
They're just
Sure.
loot machines.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap that up. So we're on our last bit here. Time for games. So this shouldn't be too long. What I have here is a game called Indies versus Goliath, where I have some fun matchups of indie games versus AAA games that sold roughly the same amount, and we're gonna try and figure out which one actually sold more copies. And you guys are gonna tell me that. Some of these
boy.
might be
Okay.
surprising for you. All right, so let's start off strong. Fall Guys versus Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, God. I'm going to go with Fall Guys because it was a PlayStation Plus thingy. if that
See,
counts
I
as
was going to say
sale, so-
Cyberpunk for the opposite reason because it was available for Fall Guys was available for
Yes,
free
these
for a
are
little while.
these are sales. This does not include the PlayStation Plus downloads that were free.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
just
thought
Include
because
all
I'm
the
gonna say
returns
Cyberpunk,
people
'cause
have
a lot
gotten
of
on
people-
Cyberpunk.
This does factor in all the returns from Cyberpunk. Thank you for asking.
Oh, that's a good.
Okay.
That's a good shout.
That's a shot and a half. By that.
'Cause that is the funniest thing I've heard about in a long time.
Anyway, okay. I'm going to go with Fall Guys still. I feel like that had a lot of wide appeal and it had a bit of a head start, so.
It's actually Cyberpunk coming in at 13.5 million versus Fall Guys at 11 million.
Closer than I
mean, it's
thought.
amazing it did that.
Closer, yeah, it's pretty close for a little game about beans jumping into the lava.
Well, they're not little beans, are they? Like 8-foot beans.
Are they eight?
Found out.
Are they canonically 8 feet tall?
Yeah, and then they have like those weird skeletons inside
I saw the
them.
That was one of my
Don't
least
remind me.
favorite pieces of gaming news in 2020. The horrible
It
bean
really
skeletons.
was.
All right. How about this? Anthem versus No More Heroes.
I feel like
I
my
hope No More
husband would
Heroes.
literally divorce me if I didn't say No More Heroes, so I'm saying No More Heroes.
Even if it's incorrect?
Yes.
Okay. This is supposed to be... This is not like what you wanted to happen. This is like... All right. So this one's interesting. Anthem actually still sold 6 million copies. No More Heroes only hit about 500,000.
Wait, 500,000? It didn't even
Yeah.
break a million.
No,
Oof.
didn't even break a
That
million.
is
No.
not good.
Not good, no.
Tim, if you're listening, it's a very good game still, and I like it.
Yeah, that doesn't impact the quality of the game. I've played the first No More Heroes. It's pretty fun. All right, how about this? Terraria versus Skyrim.
It's gotta be Skyrim.
Yeah, I was gonna
Now,
say,
Sky,
Skyrim.
now
Skyrim.
wait, I must qualify.
Everything.
I must qualify. This only includes the original edition of Skyrim. This does not include the special edition.
Oh.
I'm still gonna say Skyrim.
I'm still gonna go Skyrim.
Skyrim.
It is insanely close, but Terraria edges it out very closely. 30.3 million to 30 million. So Terraria actually sold a few more copies.
Oh, poor Todd. He's gonna uninstall Terraria right now.
Now, the reason I think apparently more than half of those are mobile purchases, though, for Terraria.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, how about this one? Hollow Knight versus The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, I want to say Last was Part 2.
I actually want to say
Yeah.
Hollow Knight.
That was a big one.
I'd say Last of Us Part 2. It swept the Game Awards. Like, I know a lot of people had to buy it.
But Hollow Knight actually sold about 2.9 million versus Last of Us Part 2 at 2.8 million. Very close.
Yeah.
Good job, Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hollow Knight's
wow.
also been out for 3 years, so...
True.
Yeah, true.
I
um,
forgot that.
And is also a multi-platform. It's on everything, and Last of Us is only on PlayStation, so probably help make up for it. How about let's do the big dogs. You guys ready? Tetris versus GTA 5.
Oh my gosh.
Bloody hell. I mean, it's gotta be Tetris, surely.
Yeah.
That's been out for donkey's years, to use a technical term.
Tetris.
What did you say?
yeah.
The donkeys? What?
Wait, oh, is that not a saying over there?
Yes, it
Donkey's
is. I've heard
Sorry,
Donkey's years.
The donkey's ears?
Years.
Donkey's years.
I've never heard
Or
that.
like a
Chelsea,
dog's
is that
age.
familiar?
I have not heard that either.
I have.
But thank God Kate's here to back me up. Here we go. Yes. Donkey's years is a saying.
What does that
Uh-huh.
mean?
It just means a long time.
Like a dog's
Do
age.
donkeys live a long time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've never questioned it, actually, but I suppose they must do.
Okay. Tetris is of course the winner, 150 million to 135 million from GTA 5. Those are the two best-selling games. Those are the second and third best-selling games of all time after Minecraft. So how about this one? Among Us versus Wii Sports.
Wii Sports.
I mean, Wii Sports didn't even... I suppose to have a sale of Wii Sports, it had to include a sale of the Wii.
Yeah, because didn't Wii Sports come with the console?
Wii Sports
did,
came with
didn't it?
with the console for a few years, and after that, Wii Sports Resort came with it. So not every Wii came with Wii Sports.
I'm still going to go with Wii Sports because most people bought the Wii quite early on and would have got it.
Actually, Among Us, 100 million
Wow.
sales from them as of a few weeks ago, and Wii Sports at
Christ.
83 million.
I'm
Go
honestly
Among
surprised by
Us!
that.
I love that game.
Yeah. Oh, I
Love
love the
those
team
little
behind
beans.
it.
Yeah, they're
That's
so cute.
the-
They're cute. Okay. How about Rocket League versus Overwatch?
Rocket League went free
Ooh.
recently, is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Overwatch, that's multi-platform as well. Rocket League, I know it's multi-platform, but like it's also a bigger game.
Also, Rocket
so-
League did the PS Plus thing, so a lot of those are not sales.
Overwatch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Overwatch.
gotta be Overwatch.
I'm only saying
Yeah.
Overwatch because that's what I've seen my husband play more. So
Yes,
that's my
you're
sample
correct.
size of one.
100% correct. Yeah, Overwatch has sold about 50 million copies, and Rocket League has actually still sold about 40 million copies, even factoring all that stuff in.
That's impressive still.
It's very
Yeah.
impressive.
So this is a very weird fact, but I have a good friend who does not really play video games at all. But one of her favorite pastimes is to just like watch Rocket League, like on the weekends. She loves it.
Wow.
Like her whole Twitter account is like about following like people who play Rocket League. I find it very fascinating.
Is this someone I know?
No, I work with her.
Okay, I'm interested. All right, how about this one? This will hurt your heart, or will it? Undertale versus Final Fantasy VII Remake.
God. I'm gonna go Undertale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say Undertale.
Yeah, I agree.
Undertale has actually only sold just over 1 million copies. Final Fantasy VII Remake
What?
did 5 million this year. Yeah.
Really?
I'm sorry, but Undertale's been out for ages and is multi-platform and was just a cultural bloody.
There
I
are
think-
also a lot of very completionist Let's Plays of Undertale out there, so I think like that's how I got like aware of the game. I didn't play it. I am terrible at that kind of combat. So I think
Yeah,
a lot of people may have watched
Yeah.
other people play Undertale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I've done.
I only got in. Yeah, I only got into. I did play it myself, but I only did that after I watched the Game Grumps play it like 5 years ago.
That is a good point though, because I've never actually played it. I've only watched it.
See, I think a lot of
Yeah.
people who are very excited about Undertale haven't played the game and are just really excited about like the culture that was built around it.
My friend
Yeah,
got like a group of their friends to voice characters and pulled me in entirely to voice the fabulous robots. So that was how I became aware of Undertale.
Yeah.
You got the best character
You did.
to voice.
Yeah.
Or except for a Papyrus. It is I, Papyrus.
What I love about early Undertale culture is that no one was really communicating as to like what voices everyone should have, but everyone just picked the same ones for Papyrus and Sans.
Hey
Like,
everybody, it's me, Sans.
Even if
About
people
to
went
have a
into
real
it
bad
blind.
time.
I used to watch Dan and Phil play it, and they went into it completely blind, but gave Papyrus and Sans the same voice that like everyone who was playing was
Yes,
doing.
exactly. Everyone did it. And that's just the power of
Because
fonts,
he's
baby.
the great Papyrus! Yeah! Like, that's
Oh,
just
boy.
who he is!
We're gonna clip that out. All right.
Why? Because it was terrible?
No. We're gonna put that. Actually, I'm gonna take this opportunity to ask: has anyone ever listened to like the little stinger I put at the end of the episode? Do people know that I do that?
Don't put my
Now
terrible
and then
Papyrus
I've-
voice at the end of the episode.
After the outro song of every episode, I do a little stinger of like one like particularly weird out of context line from the episode.
Well, don't put my
Yeah.
bad Papyrus voice there, because
it's
I'm
going
now
there.
feeling very self-conscious about
Yeah, I
it.
feel like you've solidified that's what's going to be there now because you've.
Nirav! It wasn't that bad.
No, it was good.
No, it was-
I know you did this one episode because one of them was me saying something positive about gamers, which you took out of context.
Yeah, no, yeah. Your thing was gamers can be trusted, which is like a half of the sentence I clipped out. Okay, we have one more last one, which is a really exciting one for me. The Carmen Sandiego 1985 for PC versus Doom for PC.
Okay, I'm going to vote Carmen Sandiego because I
Do it,
fucking
Rockapella.
love Carmen Sandiego.
How are you feeling?
Wait, what platform was this Dune one on? I had a Dune game growing up. I'm
Doom on
curious.
PC, like the original Doom.
Oh shit! No, oh Doom. I thought you said Dune, like the
Not
movie.
Dune. What? No.
I had it on Mega CD back in the day.
Although now the idea of shooting those big sandworms and watching them explode is interesting to me.
You couldn't even do it like because you had to use like a Mega Drive controller and you just go around the world of Dune talking to people. It was pretty wild. I'm massively sidetracked. I'm
Alright.
going with Doom.
You're gonna say Doom? What do you say, Chelsea? You're going for Carmen Sandiego.
Yep.
Kate, what about you?
Gotta go Carmen Sandiego. It's not right, but I gotta do it.
No, you are right. Carmen Sandiego
Oh,
sold
wow.
4 million copies. Doom only sold 2 million on its original iteration.
Look,
Oh wow!
Carmen Sandiego is so many people's childhoods.
Oh, it's mine.
Mine.
I even had that game. Yeah, I remember it.
That's probably the first game I ever played, thinking back on it. And I played
I
that a
had
lot.
it. I wasn't allowed to play games, and I had it because it apparently promoted critical thinking.
Can't have that.
Can't. Yeah. No. But
I was only allowed to own educational games, and that apparently qualified.
We had
Carmen
a lot of
Sandiego,
educational
not Doom.
games.
I think that qualifies because, like, you got to find, listen to the clues and figure out where they're going.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
educational.
Does anyone remember Freddy Fish? Those were good times. We had a lot of those. Edutain. Do you guys have those edutainment games? And then fucking Putt Putt Travels Through Time. Fuck yeah.
Mario Teaches Typing was my jam.
Really? I never had that, but I do know about it.
Oh, I love Mario Teaches Typing.
I'm just realizing how weird.
It's very good. You should hit the E key now. Yes.
Hey, I recently clocked in at almost 150 words per minute, and I entirely credit Mario.
Hey, that's really good. Sorry, Ree.
I am occasionally more than just GameLuster's butt monkey. I can't do things.
Say butt monkey?
Yes! You don't know what a butt monkey is?
I've never heard that.
Me neither.
Before,
I've never
heard
that
it's
either.
from... Oh my god, am I the... Okay, butt monkey is like a person... I'm pretty sure it comes from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but it's like someone who's like the butt of everyone's jokes, and it's how I feel like I end up whenever I'm on the podcast. It's someone... It's like, the person who everyone is always kind of making fun of, who's kind of there to be the goofy one. It's like Zoidberg.
I love Zoidberg, though.
But Zoidberg is everyone's favorite character.
Yeah, he's everyone's favorite character.
Yeah, but I feel like, Caitlin loves long-haired men. Kate can't do accents. I think Kate has weird obsessions with villains. Like, I'm the GameLuster butt monkey.
Well, I might take that because I get bullied for being British, so
that's true.
We can share the role.
That's only because everyone's probably jealous because being American is not great.
Yeah, like at least you have a. I mean, there's nothing good about being obsessed with villains and knowing a weird amount of things about The Witcher, and
You could I think it could make you stronger though.
And there's nothing good about.
I was about to say that you're kind of describing me, so I think all of those things are great.
I was about to say like it sounds like Chelsea is kind of striving to be you right now.
Yeah.
Well, don't be me. It's not a good thing to be.
But there's nothing good about being
British. Well, now you've made yourself a butt monkey. Come on.
I'd rather be obsessed with Witcher than be British, to be fair.
What? This is just doesn't. I've totally lost track of this conversation. What was I saying?
Two states of being British and obsessed with Geralt of Rivia. Everyone's one or the other.
If you are both of those things, then God help you.
Honestly,
that's Henry Cavill. You're describing Henry Cavill.
That's a good point.
That's a shout and a half right there.
Henry, I'm sorry. Let me buy you a pint next time you're around Suffolk area.
Reed, did you ever get an answer about farm ghosts?
What? Sorry? Oh, no. Let me check. Oh, god damn it. He's probably doing his bloody uni work and isn't up for answering questions about ghosts on his farm.
Okay. So let's close out. Thank you to Todd Howard for making. Did he do something for this one? We said something about Skyrim, probably, right?
Yeah, there we go. We mentioned Skyrim.
We said he was going to uninstall Terraria.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you to Todd Howard for uninstalling Terraria to make room for Stardew Valley on your phone. Yeah, so you can find us at GameLuster.com, and you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/GameLuster, and we are on Twitter at GameBustersPod. Give us a follow. I'm putting memes out now. Everyone go look at the memes.
Hey.
Yeah, so, Kate, what are you up to right now? What do you want to plug?
I'm on Twitter at derletstonTons, where I am tweeting about my ongoing efforts to translate the Octopath Traveler tie-in novel, and also the GameLuster Twitter will fairly soon, I believe, be holding a poll where you guys can decide what series I deep dive into and become incredibly obsessed with in 2021. So if you want to control my fate, vote on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that up soon. It's gonna be fun.
Well,
yeah,
I did Witcher in 2020, so they're gonna our public is gonna vote on what series I deep dive into in 2021.
I love the idea of like a vote here to control my fate.
Yeah, so vote to control my fate, and also follow me.
Okay, Ree, what are you doing right now?
So we recently put out a very wholesome feature, all of us at GameLuster, on the games that got us through 2020, and hey, Stardew Valley was on that list. Guess who wrote about it? But there was other ones. We have Death Stranding from Nirav. I went on about Night in the Woods and Final Fantasy VII. So yeah, do check that out.
It's very
and
wholesome.
also,
I liked it.
yeah, it was really nice to write, very cathartic. You can also find me on Twitter at @re_Bevan, but that's just a mess of me complaining about being in Britain and video games. So yeah, follow that if those are your niches.
Yeah. Chelsea, tell me about all the content creation projects you're working on right now.
I'm creating a lot of content in my job that I'm not going to talk about because my privacy is important to me, and I get a lot of weird cold emails through work. So
Really?
yeah, I do. I got another weird one yesterday. I'm too Googleable, so I have my social media pretty locked down, and I don't do any content creation because I just work for the government. So
You're creating government content.
yeah, I mean, in a way.
I also work for the government. What am I doing?
And I really like my job, so I don't want to mess that up.
Okay, well, you can't find Chelsea anywhere.
Yeah.
On the internet.
There never was a Chelsea.
I dare you to look for her.
I mean, you can
She
find
is
me
the
on
farm
Twitter
ghost.
pretty easily, but I make it very
Chelsea
clear.
is the true farm ghost.
There we go.
Yeah, you can, if you close your eyes and you can feel the spirit of a farm ghost. That's Chelsea.
If you evade taxes, then Chelsea might contact you. So
No,
there you
no,
go.
I won't
That's
do
one way
that.
to find it.
She would never contact you for any reason.
That's pretty true.
Is she the one who arrested Yoshi for tax evasion?
God. All right. Yeah, so you can find us. We also would appreciate some ratings on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or wherever you get your stuff. That is super helpful for us. And helps us get a little more visibility on those stores. So say something nice about us, please. And if you don't have anything nice to say, then you can find us under the Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah, so let's see. I guess that's good. Last word. I want to mention my Steam challenge because I'll be doing that with GameLuster. I had an idea for... I beat 50 games last year, and I sort of did that thing again in Soul, where it's like, hey, I did the thing that I was trying to do, and then I felt empty and hollow inside. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to beat more games this year. That didn't really, that was fun, but, so this year my idea was to clear out the mess a little bit. So I have 65 games sitting in my Steam library that I've never opened. I am going to be playing all of them this year slowly, and I'm going to record a little bit of each one and kind of make a little compilation at the end of each month as like a little video diary of how I'm progressing on my Steam backlog challenge, and I will conquer them by the end of the year.
Honestly, good luck.
Well, I'm not going to beat all of them. I'm playing them all for at least an hour and then deciding if they're worth playing or not. And then
I won't be doing that. I'll be playing more Stardew Valley and not recording it, but probably sharing a bunch of screenshots on Twitter as my farm gets even more elaborate.
Oh, okay. That could be good. Yeah, so look out at the end of January for my first update on that. So far, we've done Oblivion and Black Desert Online. Black Desert Online is a bad video game. All right. So,
am I allowed to gift you? Can I gift you some of the shit in my Steam library that I'm never going to touch, just to make the challenge go on even longer?
I actually would like for you to not do that, if anything.
See if we can make this last to 2030.
I'll be done with my challenge in 2030 when the next Stardew Valley game comes out.
Look, I have got a perfectly good pub-based dating sim in my Steam library.
Is
which
it
I'm never
Pub
gonna play.
Encounter?
It is. Yeah,
I
got
love
it
Pub Encounter. Can we record about it sometime? I love that game.
We should. I actually got it as someone got it for me as a joke because I love the pub, but I've never.
My husband bought it
so...
for me because one of the love interests looks like Art Nazunia.
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Just because of that, I'm gonna play it. I'll give it a go.
Yes. Pub Encounter.
Did I get three clones of the same person to be on this podcast with me?
Oh god.
Attack of the Clones.
Okay, well, you know what? Episode title sorted there. Yeah. Next episode on Pub Encounter.
No, please. The episode title is obviously Coco Bandicoot Spongebob. Please.
What does that have to do with Stardew Valley?
Okay, listen to me. I guess it's the end. So last word for the winner, which is me. I'm gonna just say an idea that I had to take us out, which is a racing game called Stardew Valley. Yeah. All right. I don't know if that's anything.
Y'all.